Hello there, hi, good morning, how you doing? It's Jim, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time here. It's probably not, but it is time, because I realise it's been a very long time, to do another update on the record collection. So last time I did this was about 3 or 4 months ago. It was M, but a partial bit of M. It was Marillion. It was expansive and big. But it did mean that there's a lot more M to go. So what I'm going to do today is M and N. And yeah, we'll see where we get to. So first of all, I've got one box set here that isn't on the shelf. You do know this one because I've talked about this before. I'll just lift this up to show you. This is the Mars Volta box set. La Riliade de las Swanas. It's the collected works of the Mars Volta. It's fabulous. It is really. It got all of them in here. I'm not going to go through it in detail now because I've got a whole video on that from about, I don't know how long, 18 months, 2 years ago. But if you really want to know lots about that, then do have a look at that because it's a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous collection. But there is other stuff going on up here. So last time, as I say, we ended up doing Marillion. We got to Season's End, which is the box set. But what is next? So these, as you know by now, I am thinking of changing this. I file albums and CDs by artist's first name. So, for example, Devin Townsend is filed under D for Devin, not T for Townsend. So some of these you would expect to be further on, but they're not, they're here. I am thinking of changing it because it kind of is getting a bit confusing to me. Right, first of all, we have Mark Armand, not the Mark Armand from Soft Cell. This is Mark and Armand. It's called Other People's Rooms. This is a case. I got this in a big collection. The radio station clear out that I bought loads of stuff off. I've just dabbled into it a little bit, but I haven't really sort of gone far into it yet. But it's very, very cool. It's very of the time, very proggy. Next up, this is almost brand new. This is Marius Duda. He's the bass player, singer from Riverside. This is a solo album, came out towards the end of 23, called Afraid. It's electronica, lots of orb, lots of Osric sounds in there, Chemical Brothers a little bit. It's really good fun. Very, very interesting record. And then, how many have we got here? 1, 2. There's a couple of Mars Volta records. So I got these before I had the box set. So this is this album, which is called Octahedron. From the Mars Volta. Not my favourite record, but it was the only one I could find on vinyl when I was first starting to look for them. That was reasonably priced. And then this one. This is a little 10-inch. I don't even know if it's a single or a CD or an EP, what you'd call it, but it's a slightly extended, limited edition coloured vinyl. It says it's if you have a look in here, the bright yellow. It's Televators by the Mars Volta. And it's also Ariataka, which is live on the second side. So it is basically a single, but it's not very big. But it's just a little collectible thing. Picked that up for peanuts, literally. Well, no, not literally. It was money. It wasn't peanuts, but I picked it up for very, very little on eBay. So, yeah. You probably don't recognise this. This is Martin Gretsch. Martin Gretsch is an artist I discovered I don't know, well before I had the channel. And I heard a song called, I think it was Broken Heart Zoo. I think that's what it was called. It was. I heard it on the radio on Six Music, and I thought, what is this? And I had to get the album. This isn't the album. I've got the album on CD, but this is a little, again, picture disc. Fantastic record, fantastic artist. A little bit Radiohead in places, a little bit all sorts of stuff. There's also quite sort of metal sounds in there as well. It's fantastic, really, really interesting. He's done quite a lot of work with Tesseract. And he's also a local artist to me. He comes from originally from Aylesbury. I don't know if he still is in Aylesbury, but that's where he's from. As are Marillion. Marty Friedman. Marty Friedman, Dragon's Kiss. If you're into guitar, you know this. If you're not in guitar, or if you're not into guitar, why not? This is superb. This is really, really good. I have a feeling this might be a not a genuine copy, although it's scanned in and everything is okay into Discogs. It's on a Polish label. It's a Polish reprint from Roadrunner, but it's good. It sounds all right. So I'm not sure if it is actually genuine or not. But it just feels a little bit. Oh, okay. The print's a little bit off, and there are slight concerns that although it says Roadrunner on the label on the outside, on the inside of the on the label in the middle is Metal Musa. I don't know what that label is, but it ain't Roadrunner. So, but it might be that it's some sort of distribution thing for Eastern Europe at the time. Massive Attack. Blue Line's Massive Attack. It is absolute stone cold classic. It's the only Massive Attack actually I have on. Oh no, it's not. There's another. Oh, I've got my records are muddled up. So I knew I had another. This is Blue Lines, which was I think it was their first album, but certainly the first one that was of any note that they were successful with. But Unfinished Sympathy was their sort of big tune. That was from this, and it was kind of what put them on the map. But absolutely wonderful band. Love that record so much, but not as much as this. One of my all-time favourite ever records. This Mezzanine, and if you have followed my blogs and posts talking about sort of most influential, important records in my lifetime, this is on there. This is one of them. It is just too good. It sounds incredible. It's they basically inventing a new sound, trip hop, along with Portishead at the time, and Tricky, and so on and so forth. It's a very unique, very British, very west of England, comes from Bristol sound, and they still are going strong today. Incredible. You've heard of Banksy, the artist. Well, nobody really knows for sure, but there is a suspicion that one of the members of this band is Banksy. You didn't hear it here. I didn't say that. Right, now we have a run of... What's that one? Right. This is the Mastodon selection. Absolutely 100% know that I enjoy heavy music, and Mastodon is a late discovery for me. I came to them via the channel, actually. It was it was a band I knew of and had heard of for a long, long time. But ridiculous as it sounds, I dismissed them completely out of hand because of the name, Mastodon. It's just, for some reason, I just hated the name. I was thinking of like woolly mammoth and stuff like that. It just seems, oh, you can do a bit better than that. Come on. And if that's all you can come up with a name, then that's. I don't think the music's for me. And how wrong I was, and how wrong about the name as well, because it actually is a fantastic name. But we have a lot of records here. We have. This is one of my favourites, Blood Mountain. Superb, absolutely superb. The Wolf is Loose is just incredible. The energy and the speed and the power, and oh my word. We have, of course, Crack the Sky. We're starting to get quite proggy with this one. We have Emperor of Sand, a picture disc. Can't get that one, or wasn't able to get that one as a standard vinyl. It's a bit noisy, this one, because it's a picture disc. It's not the best quality thing, but it's worth having as record store day release. One of my favourite records that came out a couple of years ago was Hushed and Grim, Mastodon. This is fucking brilliant. Excuse my French, but absolutely love this record. Absolutely love them. I need to get some more Mastodon on the channel. I haven't played any for ages. Oh, Leviathan. This is the concept album about Moby Dick. And it's, this band, I tell you, they've done some amazing stuff. These aren't in order, by the way. These are just sort of as they're coming out here. Once More Around the Sun. Just another brilliant record. I cannot fault these records at all. Remission. This is early. This is really heavy, quite raw before they start to get sort of have their sort of proggy ideas. Superb though, absolutely superb. Yep, Mastodon, Remission, and the final record that I have in this selection is, of course, The Hunter. Just a brilliant band. I've got a lot of time for Mastodon, and they are one of the. It's interesting, isn't it? How many bands I have discovered as a result of this channel and have fallen completely head over heels in love with. Mastodon is one. Marillion is another. Devin Townsend for sure, and Stephen Wilson solo stuff. Absolutely, I knew absolutely all about Porcupine Tree. Yes. Absolutely, yes. I did not know anything about them at all before about 3 years ago. And this channel, I tells you. Oh, right. So Mastodon goes back onto the shelf. McGuinness Flint. I'm not a fan of this record. I'm not a fan. It's kind of, I've ended up inheriting this. It's a little bit sort of folky, I think. It came from my uncle. I have heard it, listened to it, but not since I first got it. When I first got it, I don't think I enjoyed it, but perhaps I ought to check it out again. Yes, maybe I should. What's next? Oh, Meatloaf. Where this came from, I don't know. Dead Ringer. I think I got this as a Christmas present when I was about 13, 12. Again, from my uncle and aunt. So this is actually one of the records which has survived from my childhood. Because at one stage I did get rid of a lot because it was just all too got too much for me, and I started to get into tapes and to CDs. But this is one that survived. Meatloaf. God bless him. All right, now with the final section on this bit of shelf is For me, the important bit of Metallica, it is Kill 'Em All. Oh, just one of the best debuts ever. Love that record. Love it, love it, love it. I can listen to it over and over and over and over again. Hit the Lights, The Four Horsemen, Motor Breath, Jump in the Fire, Whiplash. That's the, Whiplash. Phantom Lord, Seek and Destroy, Metal Militia, No Remorse. Absolutely fantastic. Oh my God, that's a good record. But then came Ride the Lightning, which again is just got some of the best tracks ever on here. Fight Fire with Fire. I don't hear people talk about that very much, but I love that tune so much. Ride the Lightning itself, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Fade to Black, Creeping Death, The Call of Cthulhu, I don't know how you pronounce that. Just such a good record. Again, I got this back when it came out and love it to death. Of course, Master of Puppets. Master. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. It's sort of an indispensable... it's like having Revolver by the Beatles. It's one of those... Everybody has this record. And it's just... of course, no exception, but I had it from 40 years ago. What year did this come out? 86. Not quite 40 years ago. 38 years ago. 38 years ago! Dear Lord, dear Lord. And then this is a reissue. I didn't get this when this first came out. This is the Black Album. 30 years ago. Enter Sandman. So when this originally came out, I wasn't into Metallica at the time, but I'll come back to them. But no, so I've now got this, obviously. It's a very, very, very good record, as you all fully well know. So let's pop that back on the shelf. Metallica. We now need to move over to this side. So I shall just move this little camera. So, welcome to this side of the room. We've got a few more to go along here, and then just to start in this little section here. So what have we got to start off with? We've got a selection of... Michael Schenker Group. Rock Will Never Die. It's a live record. Got that cheap off eBay. And I think... What else we got here? Not that one. So that's also Michael Schenker Group, just called the Michael Schenker Group. I haven't listened to either of these yet. They've been sitting here on the shelf for some time. I really ought to get round to them. This has been played on the channel. Michael Urbaniak. He's a very good string player, violinist. I got this from that... Where did I get this from? Oh, I bought a job lot of jazz fusion records quite a long time ago, about sort of 4 years ago. And this was in there. So this equated to about... It was a really good deal. I bought a whole load of them. And they ended up being sort of 50 or 60p per record, because there was quite a lot of them and it wasn't, no one else was bidding on it apart from me, or maybe one other person, but they didn't really go very far with it. So yeah, I got this in there. This is really cool, really interesting. Played this, I don't know how long ago it was. You have to go back, have to search for it, but that was maybe 3.5 years ago. Had that on the channel. Diesel and Dust, Midnight Oil. This is back from my misspent teenage years when I went to a different school, ended up with a bunch of different people as musical influences. Never have heard this, I don't think, had I not gone to that school, but there's some great tunes on here. Beds Are Burning, Dream World, Arctic World. It's very, very political, Australian political, standing up for the rights of the native people there, and quite sort of ahead of its time, I think. It's a superb record. It does sound quite 80s. It does sound quite 80s, but it's a quite sort of an epic sounding band as well. He sounds a little bit like it's a little bit sort of like a sort of a high energy REM, perhaps. Might be so if you crossed REM and In Excess, it's kind of what you might come up with. Really good. Right, this is what I was getting at. A selection of records here. So this is all Mike Oldfield. This is Mike Oldfield boxed. A little box set. I picked this up in a local charity shop for £15. I can't complain about that, because I had to clean it. It's not a very clean, well looked after record. Well, it probably was well looked after, but it's not a very clean record. It's been sat on someone's shelves for a long, long time. But there's 4 albums on here. Here's Tubular Bells, Hergest Ridge, Omadorn, and Collaborations. So Collaborations is actually the only one that I didn't own, but it was quite interesting to have this as a little box set. It's I don't know if it has any value at all, probably not. But it's just a nice thing to have. So let's then talk about what else we've got here. Tubular Bells, of course. Tubular Bells 2. Hergest Ridge. And then I've also got Crisis. The final one here is a much more modern one. This is Incantations. I haven't actually heard this yet. This is, I think, a little bit more. It was an 80s release, but yeah, I saw this when I was doing a late night trawl through eBay. I thought, ooh, yeah, well, I'll have a go with that. So I did. There we go, Mike Oldfield. I don't think we've actually had any Mike Oldfield played on the channel yet, have we? Right, I've now got a selection of what I consider to be some incredibly important music. This is Miles Davis. We have got Sketches of Spain, which is just, and I don't need to tell you, they are just indispensable records, absolutely indispensable records. These. We have Kind of Blue, of course we do, and we've got Bitches Brew. Bitches Brew, we decided to sort of experiment with jazz and rock, and it's so good, so important, this music, so important in the evolution of where we are and where we've got to, and the influence it had, not on musicians necessarily today, but on the musicians that they were inspired by and influenced by. You can trace a lot of it back to Miles. We have then got Mogwai. Come On, Die Young. We listened to this really quite recently. And then also 000, a Mogwai soundtrack. I haven't listened to this one yet, but we have many, hopefully, years of listening to go on the channel. So that is in preparation for some future broadcast. Right, so this next section is all one artist, and these again are all records I bought really, really cheaply off eBay for the specific use of using on the channel, and also for me to sort of get to hear this music. It's Moody Blues. So Days of Future Past, we've had that on the channel. We've got In Search of the Lost Chord, On the Threshold of a Dream. I think we've done that one. So we then got more to go yet. So this was a donation to me by Graham Doherty. This is To Our Children's Children's Children, which is, I don't know if that's the next in the series, but I'm working through these in order. But that will be one that will be coming up at some point fairly soon. It's another copy of On the Threshold of a Dream for some reason. Seventh Sojourn. Long Distance Voyager. And Every Good Boy Deserves Favour. It's a bit tatty, that. But there we go. That's the Moody Blues. We then get onto another band, which is a discovery from the channel. Motor Psycho. So I've got a load of these. This is a great band. Norwegian prog. We've got Still Life with an Eggplant. We have got is this one called Ancient Astronauts, wherever that is. Ancient Astronauts. Kingdom of Oblivion. That's quite a recent one. This came out in the last couple of years. Then got, what's that one called? The All Is One. So this is, it's got it on that side. The All Is One. This is a fantastic, fantastic record. I've listened to, this is the one that's got the Knox suite on it. I've actually played on the channel. I don't think I've played the whole record, but that's fantastic. And then also part of the same series is this one. This is The Tower, which we've not had on the channel yet. Motor Psycho is another fantastic discovery. Amazing, amazing band. Love them. Mott the Hoople. Mott the Hoople. Rock and Roll Queen. And that's just Mott. Again, it's records that I've ended up inheriting through time from someone or other. We've got Mountain Live. This might be a fun one to listen to. It's got some really, really good. It's got 3 tracks on side 1 and 1 track on side 2. It's 17 and a half minutes long. It's 1972. I think sort of proggy, rocky stuff. I think that'll be good. We then have Mungo Jerry. It's electronically tested. It's got In Summertime, diddle 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 diddle, that track on it. And then this is a big wodge, again, of another of my favourite bands. This is a band, I've known about this band forever. I mean, I've been with them since, not quite since the beginning, but since Absolution. It's a Muse. Black Holes, Revelations. The Resistance. Origin of Symmetry. The re-release, the remix of Origin of Symmetry. Showbiz, their first record. The Second Law. And finally this is called Will of the People, which is their album which came out most recently. I haven't got Drones, and there's another one which I think I've got it on CD. There's a couple other albums which they've done which I don't have on vinyl. But yes, I like Muse, and I don't care what you say. It's my record collection, and I'll stand by it. Right. Yes, we will. I'll grab them all out and do them at once. So here we go. So, Nick Mason, his Saucer Full of Secrets, live at the Roundhouse. Let's get it the right way around, shall we? Yeah, I'll show you the back. There we go. This is Nick Mason, live at the Roundhouse, Saucer Full of Secrets, the early Pink Floyd stuff. It's good. It's fantastic. It's the proper old stuff. This is Mason and Fenn. So profiles, not sure about this one. I don't know why this has got this one under M or N. Oh, because of Nick. So it's Nick de Virgilio. So for de Virgilio, Morse, Jennings. This is why it doesn't make sense. I need to change how I file these, because I think that will then come under D. That's Troika. We have then got, oh, this is a wonderful, wonderful band. I've got 3 of these records. This is Nectar. We have a Tab in the Ocean, listen to on the channel. Remember the Future, listen to on the channel. And we have Live in New York. We haven't listened to on the channel. A couple of heavy ones now. This is Ne Obliviscaris. Citadel. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Proggy, 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 heavy. And this one is Urn. And this is Urn by the same band, Ne Obliviscaris. Heavy, heavy, but proggy. Then this is one that I keep trying to get round to doing on the channel, but I haven't got round to doing yet. This is NASCAR Space Fox, who I discovered completely randomly, I think on Bandcamp. The name struck me and stuck with me, and I thought, ooh, that sounds interesting. What is that? It's psychedelia. It's psychedelic instrumental space rock. It's fantastic. Really, really good. There's another album of theirs which I've got on CD as well. We need to have this. I have featured some of their music when I did my radio show. Back in the days when I had a radio show, I had it on there, but I haven't featured them on the channel. I need to do that soon. But that's it. That's the end. That's all. Not a lot of N's at all, is there? And even then, some of those shouldn't be in there. So Nick Mason should be under M. But I suspect somewhere else in the pile here we've got things that should be under N, but they're not. But that's it. Next up, it will be lots of O's. O's? Got any O's? O's? Yeah, O's. No, what? Remember the 2 Ronnies. Ah, there we go. Hope you've enjoyed this. It's a little section going through my M's and N's. Next up will be O's. I'll see you on the next video, whenever and whatever that is. Until then, this is Jim, over and out.